What's up, folks? Sean the Average Angler out here in the shop getting ready to do a video for you. Guess I'm not getting ready, guess I'm doing it. Today we're going to cover a technique in the middle of the pre-spawn for most of us. I think hopefully everybody is beyond ice out and now you can fish. This is an often overlooked technique this time of year because it's really kind of the opposite of everything else. And it is not the drop shot. This is a technique that is my last resort this time of year. However, it has proven to be a great resort at times when things are really kind of funky and they don't really feel like biting. Now, definitely not my favorite way to do it. Most of the time it does require a spinning rod and let's just say lighter line, because a lot of times this time of year, this is my leader material. There's a 12, there's a 10, and I will probably be packing a 14. In the times where that bite is that tough, I'm probably gonna drop down to that 10 or 12, depending on what I'm throwing in. And most of the time, I'm gonna be throwing this stuff around rock. I want some rock in the area, hard bottom, because it's not a good cover water technique. However, it is a very good technique for getting bit. And I can tell you from experience that it gets bit by big ones. I don't know how many of you have noticed or missed it, but I protect all of my rods with a rod glove. Not sponsored by them. I've just had rod gloves for 20 plus years. And I really like these new, what do they call these? The tournament series? Yep, tournament series. They're supposed to be snagless so your hooks don't get stuck in them. All right, so for this technique, this is the rod I really like to use, the iRod 731. It is a medium light, got a lot of tip, okay? That tip bends really quick. Very sensitive rod, but the key is I can feel when I'm moving the bait. On a very subtle bite, the rod tip will start to load and give me a chance before that fish realizes it. I like that aspect. It is a technique that sometimes we may not know right away when the fish bites it. Let's get on to what this technique is, and hopefully you guys stick around. But just in case you don't, hit that subscribe button down there. Join the community, help the average angler grow the channel, because I bring you great content just like this today. The bait we're talking about, or technique, is the good old-fashioned Ned rig, all right? That happens to be a Robo. I think it's a 3 or 3.5 inch. Didn't grab the pack. I got my trusty Ned box here, which quite honestly, I don't carry with me anymore. I will typically take a couple packs of some colors that I like and call it a day. Okay, this is a Robo. Know that the Robo does not float. As many will have you believe, the Robo worm does not float like this, okay? It would be great if it did. And when you pull it up on a rock, maybe you can get it to stand up like that, but the bait itself does not float it. It's going to be down on the bottom. It's still a very good bait. It's a small bait that gets bit. There I have the 4.5 inch. Now, quite honestly, if I'm stepping up to the 4.5 inch, I feel like they should eat some other things for me. This one is one of my favorites. And for my regular viewers of the channel, you'll already know, TRD FattyZ. Now this bait does stand that bait up. Okay, this one's the green pumpkin goby. It's really kind of like watermelon candy. There's lots of different color flakes in there. Good looking bait. I think they'll eat it anywhere. One of the key things when fishing a Ned is the head. This one happens to be the owner blockhead. This one here, which is also a very good one, is the Zman Pro Shroomz, I think. I'll link it in the description, because getting the wrong Ned head can be very counterproductive. Okay, when I first started fishing Neds, I couldn't hook them, but I was using the original Ned heads from Z-Man, and quite honestly, they were terrible. The hook was too small, it wasn't real sharp, and they've come a long way since then. These are really good. This is the owner blockhead, and I want to show you how to put the Elastec on, because some people, I think, grow frustrated with it. So you rig it up just like normal, and then you see where that barb is. You're going to grab that worm, pull it up over, get it on that barb. Still fighting me a little bit. I don't know if I got that Elastec stuck in that barb. There we go. All right. So you just pull it on up over that barb, and then it will hold itself on the hook there, and no more trouble. Now, if you watched my in the water testing of this last week, when this bait goes in, it hits the bottom like so. Okay, just like so. And then what it does is that tail starts to stand that baby up. And when that tail's standing up in the water, it doesn't wag so far, but that tail quivers in the water really, really well. Tantalizing for the fish, but that's a great one. This is easily my favorite. Quite honestly, going to Clear Lake, all I'm going to take is a few packs of the TRD, the Ned TRD FattyZ, I think is how you say it. And there's another one that I had rigged. This one's called the Deal. Really cool color, kind of bait fishy. Got some bluish white down there on the bottom to kind of a gray, some more blue on top, some purple flake in there. Great looking bait. It's been one of my favorites here at home. Every body of water is different, folks. That's what I find with the Ned baits. The colors can vary from place to place, right? I really like this one. I don't know that it's done me real good or nothing. I just think it's a cool looking color. That is the Robo. It is Morning Dawn with a chartreuse tail. It's kind of gotten reddish over the years as baits kind of bleed. There's the regular Morning Dawn. You can see much more pinkish. Now the problem with some of these baits is that they get that little curl in it and they just don't straighten out. And quite honestly, I'm not going to go boil a whole box of baits, especially when I don't throw them that much. There's also these monster Neds, which, you know, cool if you want to fish that, but at this point, I just don't think that I'm Ned fishing anymore, right? I'd rather get my Bass Union shaky head, weedless shaky head, or my Frenzy nail, because those are the same weight. With that gigantic hook there, yeah, that's just me, folks. The Ned rig is supposed to be a finesse technique, okay? This, to me, is not finesse. That hook is big, it's bulky, not a light wire hook. I would stay with the heads that I put in the description, okay? Those are phenomenal. Have had no problems with those. They do what they're supposed to do, all right? Go as light as you can with the Ned head. That's one of the tricks to successful Ned rig fishing, is to go as light as you can. So for the depth, okay, think about the depth. This one right here is pretty good, down to about 25 foot. I'm not really sure, maybe a fifth of an ounce or something. It's fairly light. High percentage areas, guys, because it's not a good search bait. It's just, you're not covering water, you're moving slow. You can move the bait when it's on the bottom. Kind of defeats the purpose of going down to that, depending on if you fish it with the Elastec. you don't need to do a whole lot. This is going to do a lot of work for you guys, and that was part of the reason I wanted to show that in the water, because I think a lot of times we overwork Elastec. It does so much for us that oftentimes all we need to do is let it sit and then move it a little bit and then just let it sit again. If you got wind and waves or boat traffic coming by and you got rollers coming in, there is current in the water that's going to make that bait shimmy and shake, okay? Go watch the video that I did the other day, These Amazing Baits or whatever it is. I'll put the title right here. That showed some amazing work from this FattyZ and the little Ned FattyZ. I think it probably converted some of you to see what I see in the bait, all right? It's an awesome bait. Catches lots of fish. It's been catching fish for me since I started using it probably 3 years ago. The Elastec is amazing stuff. If you don't like Elastec, hey, there's lots of Ned worms out there you can try out. I got another one here I really like. This is called the Yami Fish by Jackal, and I like how the colors fade through the worm. All right, very realistic, very natural. As you see there, it's just a green pumpkin, a watermelon. Pretty cool little bait. Anyway, I'm Sean the Average Angler. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the content, hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment below, guys. What do you use on your nets? Do you throw a Ned? Have you tried a Ned yet? I know it's not the most exciting way to catch fish, but you know what is exciting? Catching fish. So we do what we got to do to get them. See you on the next one.